Mercedes 300SL, the Gullwings and the Roadsters, were probably one of the most famous sports cars of the post-war era. The Gullwings were built to run at Le Mans, 3-liter, 6-cylinder. They were famously named for their doors that opened like the wings of a gull. And then in '57, Mercedes wanted to build a more approachable, usable, and beautiful alternative, the Roadster, the 300SL Roadster. So they took the top off of the Gullwing and had to make some modifications to the chassis so that the chassis would be rigid enough to have doors that would open and let passengers in. Basically, very similar to the Gullwing, the same engine. They actually, by the time of the Roadsters, they used the racing engine on the Gullwings as standard equipment for the Roadsters. And a few of the early Roadsters had the racing Rudge knockoff wheels, and they're very rare. They only made 25 of them, 25 Roadsters with the Rudge wheels. So this car coming to market is a real rare item. You just don't see them with Rudge wheels. There are many more Gullwings that have Rudge wheels, but very few Roadsters. This car also has its original fitted luggage, so it's really considered one of the finest Roadsters in existence, and the restoration on it is unbelievable. The color combination, the level of detail, everything about the car is just immaculate. Even these seat belts, which you never see. I had one specialist come in here and he was blown away by the period seat belts. These were the same sort of seat belts that Stirling Moss had when he raced the 300 SLR in the Mille Miglia and won the Mille Miglia. So you just never find those items. He said, "Oh my God, you know, I think those are $30,000 items, just the seat belts alone." It's just an immaculate car. In fact, Stirling Moss drove this car on a rally. He drove it on the Quail Rally in recent times, and he was kind enough to sign the dashboard when he did it. The great thing about a 300SL, and a lot of people don't realize that, even many owners that have them, is you can drive them and they're, relative to other sports cars of the period, kind of heavy. They can seem docile at first and easy to drive around town. They're not really cammy or zippy or loud or fussy. They're very stable cars. They really come alive, of course, when you push them, when you really rev them, and they make a noise and a roar which is like no other. They have this fabulous low roar that, unlike a lot of Italian cars, which tend to get really high pitched, these cars have a real deep roar, and it makes a great sound. And the power and the speed and very much the Teutonicness of the cars come out. There's no doubt that they are a German car. I mean, you feel it, and they're extremely exciting to drive. Very predictable, great cars at high speed. It's a car that at 90 to 110, 120, you feel really comfortable. It starts to really settle in on the road and feel comfortable. So they're great cars, and prices on these certainly are going up, and the interest and the enthusiasm and demand for them is hot as ever. The estimate on the Mercedes is $1 million to 1.3, and we have a lot of interest in it. It wouldn't surprise me if we exceed that estimate.